Here are today's top news stories and why they matter. Ghana's nationwide nurses strike has brought medical services in many public health facilities to a grinding halt. Our correspondents are telling us that thousands of patients are stranded and vulnerable. Rural areas are bearing the brunt of this industrial action, with communities in dire need of medical care. The Ministry of Health has appealed to the striking health workers to return to duty. DW's Maxwell Sook paints the picture of how this strike is affecting rural areas like Tamale in northern parts of the West African country.
Here in Tamale, some patients are being turned away. I spoke to some of them and some told me that they are worried. The area is feeling the pinch because there are very few public health facilities. Patients are hoping the strike would be resolved soon so they can access the medical care they desperately need.
I sent my son and they returned me that there are no nurses. So as a sick person, what do you expect me to do? I have to go and do self-medication and it's not the proper way.
When you go to the hospital, the services are closed, especially the walk-in service. So it means that getting health access will be difficult. So I'm pleading with the government or the public to listen to the nurses so that we can get this help from the nurses.
And our Muslims worldwide are marking al-Adha, a joyous celebration that commemorates the willingness of Prophet Abraham to sacrifice his son in obedience to God's command. Now, here is what you need to know. At the heart of this celebration is the Hajj pilgrimage, where over 1.6 million Muslims gather in Mecca to perform the final ritual of the Hajj, the stoning of the devil. The ritual commemorates Abraham's stoning of the devil at the three spots where it is said Shaitan tried to dissuade him from obeying God's order to sacrifice his son. The celebration typically involves the slaughter of an animal such as a goat, sheep, or cow, which is then distributed to family, friends, and those in need. However, Muslim families across West Africa are grappling with the steep cost of rams for the traditional sacrifice that is central to today's celebration. But our correspondents say the Muslims are coming together to celebrate the spirit of al-Adha, sharing what little they have and showing kindness to one another. And from us here, al-Adha Mubarak to all our Muslim brothers and sisters. Are you surprised that US President Donald Trump and his billionaire friend Elon Musk are embroiled in a public spat? Well, some Americans are not. They believe this was bound to happen. Now, for context, the trouble between the two started brewing days ago when Musk denounced Trump's sweeping tax cut and spending bill. Here is what some Americans think as Trump-Musk bromance sours.
I'm not surprised that two sociopathic narcissists can't get along. What they do to each other is what they do to each other. I actually don't really care.
I think it was pretty predictable.
And it's kind of like seeing middle school kids fight.
And I don't know how much of it is staged as well. You know, Trump is a reality TV guy, and people say he's said so much stuff on social media.
And finally, Lamine Yamal. The 17-year-old Spanish star is being hailed as a genius, and I have to agree, especially after watching his phenomenal performance in last night's epic semi-final match between Spain and France. Yamal, who turns 18 later this summer, netted twice for Spain to cement his credentials as Ballon d'Or contender. Spain edged out France 5-4 in a nail-biting encounter that had some pundits thinking it was a penalty shootout. With Spain set to face Portugal in Sunday's final, they are gunning for a third consecutive UEFA tournament win following their Nations League and Euro 2024 triumphs. And that's all we had time for today. Are you interested in constructive analysis of news happenings? Just hit the subscribe button, like, and comment on the stories we highlight. DW Africa is our channel's name, and my name is George Okachi.